So before we get started, check out the following links in the description box below as highlighted in the image shown. So you'll be able to get our past papers, our link to our official website, link to accreditations, our link to donation page, and contact details in the description. So once you'll be watching a certain video of any lesson or of any past paper, you'll be able to get all these links, and you can be able to get to download past papers, to reach to our official website. You'll be able to see links to our accreditations so that you can see which authorities have accredited us. You'll be able to reach to our donation page as well as our contact details.
Hello and welcome back. Still on past paper, December 2023, Principles of Economics. We are now going to question number 2, and we are directly going to part A, which reads, state 5 exceptions to the law of demand. Exceptions to the law of demand. So what does the law of demand state? So the law of demand states that an increase in price of a good will automatically lead to a decrease in demand for the quantity of that good. That is the law of demand. An increase in price leads to a decrease in demand, and we can understand that better with a graph. Let's draw a graph very fast. And the demand curve is always downward sloping. It's always a downward slope. That's the demand curve. Just like this. So this is the demand curve. Let's call it DD. And then here we have the quantity demanded, and here we have the price of the commodity. So this is the normal demand at normal price, at original price, PO, QO. And PO, we have said, is the original price, and QO is the original quantity demanded. And the law of demand states that if we increase the price to maybe say P1, this is P1, new price, P1 is new price, P2 increase, then we are likely going to, the demand is going to be Q1, sorry, which Q1 is the new demand. After the increase. So if we increase the price, then the quantity demanded, or the demand, reduces. That is the law of demand. And it says the question requires us to explain the exemptions to the law of demand. The exemption is when the demand curve is rightward, or is rightward, is positive sloping. is positive sloping. The exception to the law of demand is like this. The demand curve is upward sloping, not downward. This is the price and this is the quantity. So we have QO and PO. And now if we increase the price from PO to P1, then the quantity also increases from QO to Q1. So the examiner requires us to tell him when is the case. This is the exemption. The law of demand. So when do we experience such a case? That is what the examiner wants us to answer. So let's directly go to our answers. And it says the law of demand states that all else being constant, an increase in price leads to a decrease in the quantity demanded, and the vice versa is true. So here are several exceptions to this law, and it is when there's given goods, then there's the exception to the law of demand, and the price increase in price leads to increase in quantity for given goods. In case of given goods, in case of prevalent goods which are luxury goods also, they're likely to increase price as demand increases, or demand will increase as price increases. Then speculative bubbles, that is price of assets increasing in future and will continue to rise, then we are likely to have a positive sloping demand curve. Another exception to the law of demand is in case of necessities, and it says essential goods like medicine. If they increase in price, then their demand will also increase. And in another exception is for habitual goods like the alcohol, or for the ladies that like makeup, then the increase in price of a makeup will not interfere with their demand. They'll continue using makeup even if you increase their prices. Makeup for the ladies. Another example or exception is the inferior goods, and an example of inferior goods is the public transport. If one's income, and here it talks about income, this is not prices anymore, this is affected by income. So when income increase, then the inferior goods are also likely to decrease. And the last example is complementary goods, and an example here is the fountain pen. If the price of the pen increases, then its ink is also likely to increase. So those are the factors or the exceptions to the law of demand curve. It happens in such situations. We move to question 2b. It reads, distinguish between macroeconomic theory and microeconomic theory. These are the branches of economics. And we are directly going to read their differences. I have prepared them for you here in a table also. So the first difference is in the scope, and the macroeconomic theory focuses on the economy as a whole, whereas microeconomic focuses on individual economic units like the household and the farms. Then the key variables of macroeconomics are national income, GDP, unemployment rates, inflation, national savings, and overall economic growth rate. And the key variables of the macroeconomic theory are prices, individual income, consumer behavior, production costs, and market equilibrium. And then the objective is another difference. The objective of macroeconomics is to analyze broad economic issues and policies affecting the entire economy, such as fiscal and monetary policy, whereas the objective of the micro is to analyze how individual decisions and interactions determine the allocation of resources and prices. And then the examples of the topics in macroeconomics that we are likely to learn in macroeconomic theory are the economic growth, business cycles, national income accounting, unemployment and inflation. Whereas the topics that we are likely to learn from micro is supply and demand, consumer choice theory, production and cost, and market structures. And then the methodology that is used is another difference. So in macroeconomic theory, we use aggregate data and models to understand overall economic performance and trends, whereas in micro, we use detailed analysis of individual markets and consumer behavior. And then there's the policy focus. So macro develops and evaluates policies aimed at stabilizing or stimulating the economy, whereas micro focuses on policies affecting specific markets or sectors. And the level of analysis in macro is broad and often quantitative, whereas in micro is often specific and qualitative. Another example in macro is the theories. In macro, there's the Keynesian theory, classical theory, monetarism, and new Keynesian theory, whereas in micro, the theories that are there or that are applied is the theory of perfect competition, theory of consumer choice, and production and cost theories. And then the key questions that are asked in macro are: what are the causes of economic growth or recession? How do monetary and fiscal policies affect the economy? Whereas the key questions in micro are: how do supply and demand determine the prices? And how do farms decide on production levels? And then another difference is the real world application. And there that is part B. Now we go to part C, and it says identify 6 merits of a planned economic system. This is government run economy. The government here is the sole decider in production processes of the country, and we are going to read the merits. And our first advantage is the coordination of resources. So the government coordinates the resources, allocation of resources, or utilization. The word is utilization. The government ensures efficient utilization of resources across all sectors to avoid duplication and waste. And the government can ensure stability of prices. Let's talk about prices. Stabilities of prices. The government can control prices that are merit, and this stability can lead to more predictable economic conditions and reduce the impact of economic cycles. And then their focus is on long-term goals. That's another advantage of the government, being the sole decision maker about the economy. And then there's equitable distribution of resources. This is of resources. The government ensures equity, no discrimination, and they can under monopolies depend on your bargaining power as a customer. But for government, it ensures there is no discrimination. And then provision of public goods is another merit of the planned economic system. And then there is economic security, elimination of unemployment. Related to governments mostly create employment for its citizens, and then the focus is on development of the infrastructure. Another advantage is it mitigates market failure, and lastly, reduction of economic inequality. So these are the advantages of using planned economic system. Now we move to part C. Part C requires us to explain 6 reasons for government involvement in business activities. 6 reasons for government involvement in business activities. And we are going to roll through them. So market failures is our first reason why the government intervenes in business activities, and it says government intervention when markets fail to allocate resources. If governments intervene when markets fail to allocate resources efficiently, like the public goods and externalities and monopolies that restrict competition. Another reason is economic stability. Governments can play a role in stabilizing the economy by implementing fiscal and monetary policies to ensure economic cycles, control inflation, and reduce unemployment. Another reason is public welfare. Government involvement ensures the provision of essential services and protects the citizens. Another reason is income redistribution. To reduce economic inequality, governments may use taxation and welfare programs. Yes, so government can tax higher income earners more and charge less tax on low income earners. And then this consumer protection is another reason why the government is involved in business activities. Infrastructure development is our 6th reason, and regulation of monopolies is our 7th reason, and it says to prevent the abuse of market power by monopolies or oligopolies, governments regulate and sometimes break up large firms to encourage competition and even prevent price manipulation. Our 8th reason is economic growth promotion. So governments can stimulate economic growth by supporting strategic industries, investing in research and development, and creating favorable condition. And then there's environmental protection is our reason number 8. National security is another reason. Promotion of fair competition, that is, governments can create and enforce antitrust laws to prevent unfair competition practices and promote a level of playing field in the marketplace. And then our 12th reason is addressing social objectives, and the last is economic planning. So we are done with question 2. So let's meet in another video and we'll be doing question number 3. Thank you.
So if you like this video, you can always enroll with us. You'll be able to access more of these revision sessions, and also you'll be able to find well done lectures or pre-recorded videos for all the KASNEB courses as well as CHRP. And in case of anything, you can always reach us out. We have our contact details on the screen. Feel free to call, feel free to WhatsApp anytime. So thank you, and let's meet in our next session.